I like to call myself Monojack because I think there's an artist in Bristol I quite like. I might not be pronouncing this right, but Period the Acid Clown, and he said something years ago which really stuck with me. He struck me as somebody who basically what he says: I wake up every morning and I think, what can I do for the Acid Clown? And it's kind of like separation, and I don't know. I guess maybe that's a little bit of where it comes from. You know, creating a bit of an alter ego for yourself, and a little bit of distance maybe from your personal life, and opportunity to do something different. So the whole my whole approach to electronics and everything is all done under this pseudonym, and I guess it's nice to carve out your own name. So yeah, make a name for yourself. So yeah, that's what I've done. Monojack. Yeah.
That's an interesting approach because it gives you carte blanche to just kind of do whatever and kind of be a little bit more outrageous than your kind of day-to-day personality if you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, when I came to Bristol, it was I came from a small town, and it was an opportunity to kind of reset my life, and that's definitely what I've done. Yeah.
So, talking about history, what's the musical journey that you've been on?
A strange memory came up from my childhood just at last weekend when I was doing a tape loop workshop, and we were talking about, you know, early introductions to music, and I realised the first time I tried to do anything with music was actually with tape. I made almost like a mixtape, but my concept was that I mixed it by overlapping songs on the exact same word. Now that's quite a strange thing to do as a child, you know.
How old were you then?
I was looking back at it. It was back in the time when we were still recording off the radio to tape, and so I couldn't have been much older than 10. But it's just interesting that like I was messing around with stuff like that even back then. I remember trying to pick up clarinet and piano and guitars, and I always had stuff around. With the guitar, I always end up a very like Syd Barrett-y kind of just slapping it and doing things like that, never really doing anything melodic, almost like atonal, messing around. And for a long time, I think I kind of forgot about it. I had a lot of little toys in my, like monotrons and monotribes, and I always seem to collect things that make sounds, just whether it's like a gong or whatever. These things seem to come to me, and then I got back into music almost through the love of the electronics and through the gear. The two for me, they're completely inseparable. That the kind of journey of like exploring sound is just as fascinating as exploring the electronics, and it's nice having this hobby where you can bounce back and forth between the two, have a play with the electronics, see how that affects the sound, and then vice versa. Sound is I'm quite scientifically minded. I studied chemistry, and I guess it's this very strange place in science where you can actually sense it. In most senses, science is quite arid. You're dealing with abstract models, and this is one of the few areas of science where you can feel it. And so without really consciously doing it, I strayed away from empirical science towards this kind of more artistic, someone I really admire said, be scientific about art and artistic about science. And I'm hoping that I'm playing with that. Yeah.
That's a great quote, Jack. Yeah.
Cheers, man. Thanks. Kind of now moving towards trying to design a system in Eurorack that basically just enables me to actually express myself. And that's a very rare thing to be able to do. it's painful to think how many people aren't able to do that, and the problems that causes, so, not being able to get emotions out. And what's really strange is just in the last 2 weeks of trying to put together a system and trying to create something, it's been actually quite emotional, I'll be honest.
Interesting.
These things that I maybe haven't been dealing with for a long time. Now I'm making music again, rather than just focusing on the technical side, because I've been trying to catch up with my mouths in Superbooth and actually build the damn thing. But it's been really cathartic. It's made me realise that I actually have a lot of stuff going on that I need to process, and maybe things that I do need to say. That's what it's ultimately about, creating a system that enables me to express myself, and hopefully will enable other people to do the same. So that's, where the journey's going, I suppose. Yeah. There's a quote that I'm going to use at the end. I might be giving this away, but it's a bit of Alan Watts. I find he's like inspirational for me. And he says something along the lines of, have you ever seen a misshapen cloud? And it's this idea that like nothing is really wrong. It's only us who make it wrong by imposing our opinion on it. It is just what it is. And so I'm really trying to bear that in mind, for doing this, not judge it and just experience it, because I could very easily panic and say, I'm going to drop out now. I can't do this. But see what happens. So I guess that's what a lot of people said to me. Just do it, and it'll become more natural. So I'm hoping I can just make a few sounds in front of people tonight, and maybe show a bit of what the gear I've made can do, but also get some of the stuff that's on my chest, out there.
Any sound is now possible. Any combination of sounds is now possible. Think of a sound, now make it. Any sound is now possible. Any combination of sounds is now possible. Think of a sound, now make it. Any sound is now possible. Any combination of sounds is now possible. Think of a sound.
We go round, round, and round, ever chasing the illusion that there's somewhere else to be here other than right here, right now. So did anybody watch the news this week? Apparently we're a lot better off than we ever knew. See, they revised the statistics. Now we're doing fine. Isn't that great? Apparently the UK is on course with every other nation in the G7. But we know that's bullshit. Thank you very much.